the Spiderverse. Remember, it got delayed a whole flipping year. I was so upset when it got delayed a year, but I guess it was for good reason. Let's check out Spiderverse.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man. And things are going great.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to be here at 5.
All right, whatever.
Whatever?
I am the Spot. It's not funny.
Don't do that.
Miles's grades are pretty good. A in AP Physics.
That's my little man.
And a B in Spanish.
What?
Ooh, okay.
Miles.
Are you trying?
Mira.
Miles!
Wanna get out of here?
Oh, win? So wait a minute. There's an elite crew with all the best spider people in it?
Who's the new guy?
This is unbelievable.
This is the lobby.
Miguel O'Hara. The whole thing was his idea.
What's a guy got to do to join this spider team?
You can never be part of this.
Don't even get me started on Doctor Strange and the little nerd back on Earth 1999-99.
Come on, go easy on the kid. He had a terrible teacher.
Peter,
Miles!
you have a baby?
I have a baby.
Send me home.
I can't do that.
I can do both. Spider-Man always.
Not always.
What about Uncle Ben?
If not for Uncle Ben, most of us wouldn't be here.
Can't stop me now! You can't run forever, kid!
I can't lose one more friend.
Miguel, this isn't what we talked about.
You knew?
I have no idea what you're doing! Stop Spider-Man!
And then I looked at my uncle and...
Let me guess. He died?
Wow. A lot to unpack.
There is a lot to unpack, but specifically, he had said Doctor Strange and that person on Earth 1999999. I remember looking up what Earth is Toby on, what Earth is what's it called, Andrew Garfield on, and I remember looking up what certain Spider-Mans were on a certain Earth, and I remember saying 1999999.
It was the MCU.
Is it MCU's? I thought it was Earth 616.
The people in the MCU designated 616.
Designated 616.
Yeah.
But
before they ever mentioned 616, like I think the first time they did was in Far From Home.
yeah.
Before they even mentioned 616, the MCU's Earth was 1999999.
Oh, okay.
So who he was talking about was Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
So then, is it going to get to the point to where... Because I remember I was talking about this a long time ago. This is back when like the channel first started, where I was like, how Miles Morales will enter the MCU.
How Miles Morales could be introduced in the MCU. Miles Morales was hinted at in the movie Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017.
Right. And then I said that he was going to get entered in through like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but obviously in a certain way. They're going through like these weird teleports or whatever. So does he teleport to Tom Holland's universe? It's just all of a sudden like bam, in his universe.
That would be interesting.
Because they're jumping through portals, they're in this like weird Spider-Verse type of stuff. You know, obviously this is Miles' own story, but what if that's the case? Like at the end, boom, it's just live action Miles, and then you know it shows us who's playing the live action version of Miles Morales.
Right.
I think that would be really cool for them to kind of do that in a way, because we're eventually going to get Miles Morales in the live action MCU. Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like in this way, they could segue Miles Morales' Spider-Man to join Tom Holland's Spider-Man in that type of way. Maybe they're setting up for it to happen. Is Miles Morales in Secret Wars? He's in Secret Wars. He was in the new...
he's part of the new Secret Wars.
He's in the new Secret Wars. So, maybe...
I feel like it wouldn't be this one. I feel like it would be a different one, or we would get a Miles, because remember Danny Glover's character
already
was
said Miles in his
right, because
scene.
he's the Prowler in the MCU. I mean, not officially the Prowler, but he's the character that would be the Prowler.
Yeah. They showed that in Homecoming.
Aaron Davis, I think, And yeah, so like in a deleted scene, he's on the phone with Miles. So I feel like either we get a Miles that becomes Spider-Man through the MCU, the MCU's timeline and universe, or it's another multiverse thing, and he ends up traveling through,
into that universe.
It would be cool if they brung in the video game Miles in, you know, Secret Wars or something like that, because the actor is still, it's relatively looks like him. It's different from like this because it's a cartoon, and you know, obviously the voice actors are older or they look completely different from what they do in a cartoon. But he actually does like the mocap and the face movements and everything for his own character. He still looks like his character, and he would be about looking the same age as he does in the video game. I feel like the video game version, I mean, he's much older too, but it would be cool to see that one crossover. I mean, he does have a dope suit too.
Yeah,
so
it is fire. I think Miles Morales' suit just in general is fire.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for this. The first Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie was honestly a film that I thought was amazing. Didn't get a lot of love at the box office because a lot of people were like, what the heck? Or a lot of people just were unfamiliar.
Because it was animated, it was cartoon, so not a lot of people were going to...
And plus a lot of people that are casual movie watchers probably just didn't know Miles Morales like that.
Right.
And didn't really care to know about Miles Morales. So...
But
now,
it still holds up in the animation industry. It holds up a staple, dude. It was groundbreaking.
It was really cool. I liked it. And to be honest, this second one looks like it's going to be just as amazing.
Yeah.
I really hope they're not... Because here's the bad thing about it. There's been a lot of films where they show a lot of stuff happening, and then they can just completely ruin it. Right?
Yeah.
Like BVS, Batman vs. Superman. A whole lot going on. Whole lot of stuff.
Overwhelmed the movie.
Yeah. And since there's a whole lot of Spider-Man in here, are they going to overwhelm us with so much Spider-Man? I mean, it is called the Spiderverse, so you kind of do have to overwhelm yourself with that.
Yeah.
But is it going to be to the point where even us as the viewers are confused?
Just forget about the Miles or forgetting about certain characters or certain plots.
It's just going to be like... Because they could easily ruin this film with that storyline. Because then we're just going to be like, what the heck is going on? We just see a whole bunch of Spider-Man. Now, for us... I feel like they're not going to do that just based off how successful they were with the last film. So I think with this film and everybody really just waiting for this film to come out because it was delayed a whole year and a lot of people were upset at that, I think they're going to do a really good job. I believe they are.
Yeah.
So can we possibly see this transition into Miles Morales being live action?
For the animated stuff, I have more hope for if Tom Holland's Peter Parker or even Toby's or Andrew's to cross over here would be easier than a cartoon character to cross over, unless it's kind of like, you know, how in here Spider-Ham is actually very cartoonish as he would be in his universe. Because his universe is that like old-timey cartoony.
Yeah, like Looney Tunes stuff.
Right. Yeah. It's like that. And then he still is the same way in Miles's universe. So like what if when he transitions into real life, he's still that animated, glitchy comic book looking animation. It'd be really weird.
Yeah.
But that's why I wouldn't see that happening. Or if it does, he just turns like it's a live action and it's just a whole different actor than what it looks like in the cartoon.
Yeah. I think for it to... Because this Miles Morales, he's his own entity.
Right.
You know, compared to the video game Miles Morales. They are two completely different Miles Morales. Yeah. So I think if they do take him out of here, then that's the end of this. That's the end of the animations and stuff like that, because now he's in the MCU. So I think that would take it away. Or unless he does a couple movies in the MCU and then he goes back to his universe because he's like, man, I want to go home. I want to see my family. So... It could go either way. I think it'd be very goofy. You know what? Talking about the crossovers and stuff from like animation to live action and stuff like that. Do you remember when Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner crossed over, and they looked so weird? Like
because when they went in each other's universes, they were the animation that they would be in their own universe. So like when Timmy came over, he was 3D, and then when Jimmy went over, he was 2D
yeah.
and more cartoony with outline and everything. So
maybe they have that same type of like law in this. I don't know.
It would be hard to tell. Well,
all of them relatively have the same animation though, somewhat. Like a lot of the Spider-Mans that we've seen.
Some look comic booky, like actual comic booky.
Yeah.
Some have that same animation style. Most have that same animation style actually. But I was gonna say even because Spider-Man PS4 is in here.
Yeah, we did.
And but he has that animation style. He doesn't have the video game 3D style.
Exactly. So,
but they're in the Spider-Verse, so I think it's like I said, it's just for this film. Like I think he just fits in this film. I don't think this specific Miles should be in live action. But it is also strange that Miguel O'Hara would mention Doctor Strange in Universe 1999 with the whole spell, because he mentioned everything.
Yeah.
So it's like about that, but it could also be Miles' universe, and then what he sees is in the Spider-Verse. So it's like the way he sees his world is how he sees the Spider-Verse.
You know, I was just thinking. Okay, so when we left off on Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, he had America Chavez. America Chavez can jump through different timelines and portals. And he was with Clea Strange, his wife, in another timeline, another universe, right? So what if he...
No, that's Clea is
what?
Dormammu's daughter.
Dormammu is what?
No, not her daughter. His niece, I think.
But his last name is Strange.
Dormammu. Yeah, because... Well, in the comics, her last name is Strange because they get married eventually.
Oh, they get married. Yeah, his wife.
Right. But it wasn't at that moment. She's just Clea, but she's Dormammu's niece, I believe, which is really weird. Like, I don't know who the fuck is related to Dormammu, but I think it's his niece. I don't think it's his daughter. I can't remember.
But she was like, oh, you caused an incursion, and then they went off and went to go find, figure out the incursion or whatever. Does somehow, some way, there's a flashback scene, right? And it's an actual live-action Miguel O'Hara, and then something happens to where he ends up in the position that he's at. Because apparently Miguel O'Hara has, like, some personal vendetta with, like, somebody.
Yeah.
With a lot. There's a whole lot that we have to unpack. And I'm glad Oscar Isaac is kind of a... It's weird Oscar Isaac is playing Miguel O'Hara, even though he's kind of like Moon Knight. And it would just be really weird if, like, if they did cross over into live action, who the hell is playing the live action Miguel O'Hara? If they do go with that story, it would just be really weird.
Yeah. I mean, they even made Miguel look like Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, which is also very weird.
Yeah, because in the comics, he has orange hair. Like, he's ginger, kind of.
And he's got a way different look.
Mexican and Irish, I believe.
Yeah.
So
because of the Miguel... And then the O'Hara,
the
Irish thing.
But yeah, they gave him a different look. He looks more like Oscar Isaac. But, yeah, I think it definitely would be weird because it reminds me of the CW shows, crossovers and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where they brought back. You remember the movie Superman Returns?
That 2006 film.
Yeah. Brandon Routh was Superman. Yeah. So it was
boring.
He played in the CW. He plays a different character. He plays the Atom, but in this crossover event, he played Superman as well. So you saw two Brandon Roofs, one as the Atom and one as Superman, like in the same like Crisis event. And it was really weird. And they even joked about it in the show. I was like, it's weird how you guys look alike. Da-da-da-da.
They might pull that gag a little bit, even though that's a DC like type of thing.
Yeah.
If you made it to the end of the video, make sure that you hit that like button because it helps out so much, and don't forget to subscribe. Let me know if you guys love these kinds of videos and what else you want to see next.